The valley stood silent, heavy with tension, as though the earth itself was holding its breath. On one hill stood the army of Israel, and on the other the Philistines, separated by the wide and unforgiving valley of Elah. It was a place where courage trembled and fear found its voice. For 40 days, that silence had been shattered by one terrifying sound. The voice of Goliath of Gath echoed like thunder across the valley. He stood nearly 10 feet tall, his bronze armor blazing under the sun, his massive spear glinting with menace. Every step he took shook the ground, and every word he spoke carved fear into the hearts of men. "Choose a man to fight me," he roared, his voice dripping with confidence. "If he defeats me, we will serve you. But if I defeat him, you will serve us." Morning after morning, evening after evening, his challenge rang out. And each time, the soldiers of Israel trembled and turned away. Even King Saul, tall and anointed by God, sat frozen in his tent, unable to move. When fear speaks loudly, even the chosen can forget who God is. Far from the battlefield, a shepherd boy watched over his father's sheep. His name was David, the youngest of 8 brothers. He was overlooked, underestimated, and considered unimportant in the eyes of men. While his brothers wore armor and carried swords, David carried bread and cheese. His assignment was simple: deliver food to the battlefield and return home. Yet destiny is often hidden inside ordinary errands. As David approached the camp, he heard shouting in the distance, not the sound of victory, but the sound of fear. Then Goliath's voice thundered once more across the valley. Men lowered their heads, but something stirred within David. His heart burned with holy anger. "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine?" David asked, "that he should defy the armies of the living God?" The soldiers stared at him in disbelief. This was not how fear spoke. This was not how a boy was supposed to sound. They mocked him, questioned his youth, and tried to silence his words. But David did not see a giant. He saw an insult against his God. Word of the shepherd reached King Saul, and David was summoned. Standing before the king, David's voice remained steady. "Let no one lose heart," he said. "I will fight him." Saul looked at the boy before him. No armor, no sword, no battle scars. "You are not able," Saul replied. "You are only a youth," and he has been a warrior since his youth. But David did not speak of strength. He spoke of testimony. He told of lions and bears that attacked his father's sheep, how he chased them down, struck them, and rescued what was taken. Then David lifted his eyes with unshakable faith. "The same God who delivered me then will deliver me now." Faith is not built before crowds. It is forged in private battles no one sees. Saul hesitated, then finally nodded. "Go," he said, "and may the Lord be with you." The king placed his armor on David's body. A heavy helmet, a bronze coat, and a sword too large to lift. David tried to walk and nearly fell. This was not his battle to win with borrowed strength. He removed the armor, because faith cannot move freely wearing what God never gave. Instead, David walked toward the stream. He knelt and chose 5 smooth stones, not from doubt, but from wisdom, because faith and preparation walk together. With a sling in his hand and heaven in his heart, David stepped forward. When Goliath saw him, he laughed. A boy stood before him, unarmed and unafraid. "Am I a dog?" the giant sneered, "that you come at me with sticks?" He cursed David and promised his death. But then David spoke, and the valley fell silent. "You come against me with sword and spear," he declared. "But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies you have defied. This day, the Lord will deliver you into my hands, so that all will know the battle belongs to the Lord." This was not arrogance. This was confidence anchored in God. Goliath advanced, and the earth trembled beneath his steps. The armies held their breath. But David ran forward, not away. He reached into his pouch and placed a stone in his sling. 1 rotation, 2, 3. The stone flew, guided not by skill alone, but by divine precision. It struck the giant's forehead. Goliath staggered, then collapsed face down. The ground shook as fear fell with him. David ran forward and took the giant's own sword. With it, he completed the victory. What fear magnified for 40 days, faith defeated in a moment. The Israelites erupted in triumph. the Philistines fled in terror, and a shepherd boy became a symbol of courage for generations. Yet the greatest victory was not over Goliath, it was over fear itself. Because giants do not fall when we become stronger, they fall when we remember who God is. Even today, giants still stand, fear still shouts, doubt still mocks. But the same God who guided a stone in the valley of Elah still moves today, and sometimes all it takes is one person brave enough to believe.